Shalom. I am Rabbi Davidovich, speaking to you on behalf of the webyeshiva.org, speaking to you from Efrat, Israel. In this short Torah lesson, I'm going to be talking about the Parsha that we read both in Eretz Yisrael and throughout the rest of the world. Up until now, for a number of weeks, months actually, we have been reading one Parsha ahead of what everybody else was reading in the world. This week, there's a double portion outside of Israel, Parsha Massei, and everybody catches up, which is fitting as we are approaching Tisha B'Av, that we finally all come together. We're all reading the same page. I'm going to speak about Parsha Massei, which is the second of the Parshot that's read outside of Israel. And this Parsha talks about journeys. It starts out, Eila Massei B'nai Yisrael. These are the journeys of the children of Israel, Asher Yatsu Meretz Mitzrayim, that left Egypt. And I'm going to be talking about the journeys, which were 42 in number from the time the Jews left Egypt until they're ready to come into the land of Israel. And I'm also going to be talking about the cities of refuge, the Ori Miklat, which is also in this Parsha. And what I want to try to cover in this short time is the connection between the 42 journeys in the wilderness of the Jewish people, the 42 different tests or journeys that each person, according to the Baal Shem Tov, has in his life, and how we can gain refuge and gain comfort and deal with all of these. It is interesting that in describing the journeys, after the first introductory paragraph, each paragraph where it talks about a place where they went, it says, for example, Vayisu b'nei Yisrael me Ramses, v'yachnu basukos. They left this particular place and they rested and they camped at the other place. All of the places are symbolic references to difficulties that the children of Israel faced in their relation with God throughout this journey. Each one of these journeys was a difficult test, was a different test. And as we go through life, as we all know, we have tests all the time that we have to overcome. When the Torah talks about Vayisu, they left, they journeyed from this place, and then Vayachnu, they camped, it means they finally were able to overcome that particular test. And then the next test comes along. We know, and we talked about it before, that in this life, each of us has a specific job to do. Each of us has a specific tafkid. I cannot fulfill your obligations in this life, nor can you fulfill mine. We each have independent ones that were sent down from heaven to fulfill. And in fact, the Tivot Sholom brings an interesting thing in the name of the Ari, the Holy Arizal. He says, B'chol Yom yesh tafkid miyuchad. Every day there's a unique job shetzorich l'taki bo biyom zedaiku, that has to be fulfilled on that day. And if you haven't fulfilled it on that day, as the ethics tell us, and the Pirkei Avos ethics of the fathers, im lo achshav emasai, if not now, when? You have to do these things at time. Then he goes on to talk about the fact that Shabbat is a specific time to give us extra strength to reach our tikkun, to repair that which needs to be repaired. And he tells a story about the tzaddik, Reb Meir Mivatesk, and he said, every Shabbos was to him like he never had a Shabbos before, and that he would never have a Shabbos like it again in the future. In other words, it was so special. He was looking at that Shabbos as a unique thing, as we all should do. Now, later in this Parsha, the Torah talks about the Orei Miklat. Orei Miklat were the cities of refuge where an inadvertent murderer, somebody who killed somebody by accident, would flee to avoid the relative killing him. And the Torah says, "Ves Orei Asher Titnu LaLevim," the cities that you shall give to the Levim, to the Levites, a sheish Orei Miklot, there are 6 the killer can run to. Va'alehem titnu, and on them you shall give, with them you shall give, Arbaim Ushtayim Ir, 42 cities. So we have 6 cities of refuge that are specifically located within 42 cities, total of 48. The Apter Rebbe, Rabbi Yeshua Heschel, Yeshua from Heschel, the Ohev Yisrael, says, what does this mean? This teaches a very important lesson as to what our cities of refuge are. He says the Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, has 6 words referencing the 6 cities of refuge. And then the rest of the first paragraph of the Shema, Yahavta Eis Hashem Elokecha, etc., that has 42 words. Altogether, you have both of them together are 48. And looking at the Torah, you have the 42 cities and the 6 cities of refuge, that's 48. So what he says is that this saying of the Shema Yisrael, and V'ahavta, that is our city of refuge. That is how we can gain respite from the troubles in our life, from the travails in our life. We can come to this city of refuge, this place to be secure under the protection of God's wings, knowing that no matter what the troubles are that we have in this life, we have a city of refuge of Shema Yisrael and V'ahavta. Shema Yisrael, you are accepting, find yourself the yoke of heaven, that God runs this world. You're accepting your love between God and the Jewish people. This is an interesting concept that he talks about, and it's something that we have to look at in our lives. When we face a difficult situation, when we think the odds are insurmountable, don't give up. Go to the city of refuge. Go to the Shema. Go to the V'ahavta. Say these 6 words, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and the next paragraph, and be assured that God will help you get through whatever difficulties you have in your life. I appreciate your listening on behalf of the webyeshiva.org, and I wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat, and we should be able to enjoy a Shabbat just like Reb Mendel of the task, as I mentioned a moment ago, knowing that this Shabbat that is coming up is the only one that we've ever had like it, and that there will never be another one like it. It's special. Make it special, live it special, enjoy it special. Thank you for listening. On behalf of the Web Yeshiva, Shabbat Shalom.